What's up, everybody? Welcome back to our channel. If you are new here, my name is Mackenzie. Me and my boyfriend are full-time sellers on eBay. He actually does it full-time. I just do it part-time as I do work a full-time job. We have been doing this for about 3 months. So today I kind of just wanted to make a tips and tricks beginner's guide as to how you can get started selling on eBay and what will help you to succeed when starting your business. So there is going to be a couple of tips and advice in here that I've already mentioned in our previous videos, but I just wanted to make sure to mention them in here because I do think that it is very important, these specific tips. So let's get started. Okay, the first tip that I have for you guys is to definitely find a community of people that are doing the same thing that you're doing. We did find a couple of pages on Facebook that is strictly about selling on eBay, about Poshmark on different platforms, and so that's really nice to refer to if you have any questions about anything. Usually your post gets posted right away and people will answer it and give you many different tips of how you can handle a situation, so on and so forth. So make sure that you definitely add a couple Facebook pages because it is very helpful, and it will definitely, the posts that some people post, it will definitely make you open up your mind, and some of them are kind of shocking of like items that are selling and so on. So make sure you guys add those on Facebook. Okay, the second tip I have for you is to definitely start by practicing selling items around your house. That way you can get familiar with how the whole process works. You can get familiar with packaging items because it is very time consuming and it is kind of difficult to learn how to package specific items and how to do the shipping labels and all that kind of stuff. So definitely start just by selling items around your house. That way you get experience and you know how to or how everything works once you do decide to move forward and potentially sell more. So okay, and then tip number 3 is to definitely get a scale and poly bags, because when we first started, we were just kind of throwing clothes in like padded mailers, sometimes even boxes, just because we didn't have poly bags right away. But that is one thing that I definitely recommend. Even if we are just shipping clothing items, we do always put them in a poly bag with a thank you note. It just makes it look more presentable and it will protect the item when it is shipping. And definitely most of the time you can ship clothing items in padded mailers, so that is really important. Also with the scale, you don't need it right away. Once you get a little bit more familiar with how things work, then I definitely recommend going to your local Walmart or Target, whatever it is, and purchasing a scale. I think we got ours for $30 at Walmart and it's done great for us. We get to weigh each package before we ship it out. That way we can print our shipping labels off of eBay rather than going to the post office and doing that, but I will talk about that here in a bit. Okay, tip number 4, as I've mentioned this in a previous video, I definitely recommend instead of using priority boxes or priority mailers from the post office, going to Walmart or your local Dollar Tree and picking up padded envelopes and boxes, because it is a lot cheaper in the end. This way you can kind of control how much an item is shipping for. Obviously, it depends on the weight and the measurements of the package, but if you are shipping something that is going in a priority mailer, a lot of times it's like $15 for a small little box to ship it, when you can get a box from Walmart for $1, and you can kind of control how much the shipping goes for. Just kind of depends, but definitely look into that. Like I said, get your mailing supplies from Walmart instead of using it at the post office. Okay, and then tip number 5, I definitely would 100% recommend printing your shipping labels off of eBay and just linking your PayPal account. That way you can just do the weight, the measurements, and print your shipping label, because you do save, like, I want to say it's like 20 to 25% that you save printing your label, instead of going to the post office where you would have to handwrite your shipping or your mailers, the addresses and stuff. And then you have to go to the post office, they have to enter in all the information, you have to wait for them to ring all the objects, and then get your receipt. But with this, if you're printing your shipping label off on eBay, it has all of that already for you. So when you take it to the post office, all you have to do is wait for them to scan in your packages and get the receipt, and then you're off. So, and it's definitely, like I said, it saves money, it saves time. I 100% recommend doing that. Just make sure that you link your PayPal so that it can automatically just deduct it out of your PayPal, rather than taking it to the post office and having to pay cash for it or with a card up front. So it's just much easier. Definitely give that a try. Okay, tip number 6, I definitely, like I've said before, a very important tip is, if you're gonna go thrifting for the day, make sure that you're giving yourself plenty of time to come home with your items and list them online. It doesn't have to specifically be the items that you got that day, but if you have items sitting around or in your death pile, make sure that you're listing at least 5 to 10 items a day. That way it keeps your store up and running, because what we found is, even if we only post 5 items a day, our sales will definitely pick up. It will help the algorithm of your store. So make sure that you are dedicating time out of your day and listing a couple items at least to help you and your sales improve. Okay, tip number 7 is definitely go thrifting daily. There's always new items being put out, so make sure that you're hitting up your local thrift stores, whether it be Goodwill, Salvation Armies, whatever it is. Make sure that you dedicate plenty of time to go thrifting. Even if you just find 1 or 2 items at each store, or even leave empty-handed, at least you went out, check to see if there's anything that you can buy to make a profit on, because that will only help your store succeed. And it's okay, tip number 8 is definitely make sure, if you are getting started with this business or you are looking to progress more, make sure that you are organized and you have designated spots for your items. What we like to do is, what we've actually learned from a couple YouTubers that we follow, is if you're getting a clothing item, make sure that once you list it, you put it in a poly bag with your thank you note, and then you put it, what we do is we put it in totes and we number them. We have our totes labeled, like let's say A8, and then we have our poly bags in there so that we know what tote it's in. That way it's organized, folded up nicely and out of the way, and that way we can keep track of where everything is. And same for shoes, we have multiple shoe racks for all of our shoes that we buy. Just keep everything organized in certain categories, that way you know where everything is. It's easier to run a more successful business that way you don't have any confusion or stress as to finding out where your items are. Okay, tip number 9 is definitely keep an open mind when you are out thrifting. People always say find your niche as to what you like to sell and what you're good at selling. I definitely believe in that, but I also believe in keeping an open mind and be more open to experimenting and selling other stuff than what you're used to. When we first started, we were definitely into selling shoes and selling like knickknacks, like multiple different kinds of knickknacks, which sell really well for us. But since then, we've expanded to doing more clothing. We've been doing more electronics, things like that. So always make sure that if you find an item that you think could potentially make money, look up the comps, look up the listings, see if it's a popular item, look how much of it has sold within the past 90 days, because that's very important to do. So like I said, keep an open mind. Don't only focus on one category unless it is something that is really successful for you and going well. Number 10, 9 or 10, I'm not sure where I'm at, is to definitely do your research. You always want to be looking up, like I said, if you find an item, look up the comps. If you see something that you're interested in, like you can look up the comps, but also do your research and get knowledge on different items or certain brands or products. Just make sure that you're always growing and learning more facts or different items or brands, products, things that can help you grow. Make sure, you know, that way if you're going through a thrift store and you see something that you're not very familiar with, at least you've heard about it, you know that it possibly sells well or doesn't sell well. It's only going to help. All right, and then number 11, the last tip I have for you is to stay focused. Make sure that if you are just giving this a try and you decide that it is something that you'll be interested in or it has been successful with your, you know, trial period, make sure if you are going to dedicate yourself to this, you focus every day and that becomes your main priority, especially if you plan on making it a full-time job, or even if you're doing it part-time. It could potentially grow to a full-time job if you take it serious, if you're constantly thrifting, you know, getting more knowledge, researching items, you know, as once you get everything down, selling a couple items around your house, you're gonna just flourish and everything's just gonna be so much easier and it's so fun. So make sure that you stay focused and dedicate a certain amount of time every day to your eBay business or your Poshmark business, whatever platform it is you're selling on. It can definitely be successful as long as you make it one of your main priorities, and it can potentially be your full-time job, bringing in a lot of money for you. So, all right, and that is it for this video, guys. Hopefully it will help you to grow and succeed better with your reselling business. Give this video a like, comment down below, subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.